Alright, quick response to a couple of videos. Quick. Yeah, fat chance. Anyway, for morphine and that Nick Zeus guy. Yeah, the movie idea, I like it. But, it's... who's gonna write it? I mean, a movie written by like 30 people would be kind of funny. Just to... Maybe, you have some way, like, each person gets to write 5 minutes or something. And they can take it from any one point to any other point, or maybe have 30 people write 5 minutes and then only use 15 of the 5 minutes is like have a vote about which segments get in and which ones don't. But of course they all have to transition, so it's the only difficult part is it's sort of like you kind of have to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 before you can write 6. But anyway, yeah, I like a good comedy about futility, pointlessness, hopelessness, some kind of great message like, no, we're not going anywhere, we can't do anything, there's nothing to really accomplish. Maybe we could just all put rat masks on, and just talk about chasing cheese. But anyway, so I like the idea of it. Sounds like something, but sounds like work too. Obviously I don't put much work into my videos, so. But anyway, who knows? Maybe somehow it could work. So, yeah, I'll think on it and stuff. Next. Okay, so the Nick guy said something about the economy, and he said something like, you want to create jobs, deregulate. Ugh. It's like, what? Have you not been paying attention the last year? We kind of blueprinted failure. You want to have a bad game of soccer? Yeah, don't have any rules or umpires. Yeah, and then everything goes to hell. And, in theory it sounds so nice. Yeah, deregulate. And I'm sure there's a good 20 or 30% of regulation that is nuisance stuff, like, warning people that, ladders tend to change your center of gravity and you may get a boo-boo if you fall off one. Yeah, I mean, that kind of nonsense, putting warning labels on cats, that they have teeth and claws or something. Okay, silly stuff. But that's not the root of our problem. It's not even close to the root of the problem. I mean, it's not even on the same planet as the root of the problem. I mean, we got into this mess, okay, because we have an economy where there's haves and have-nots, and the have-nots have essentially just borrowed a life from the haves, and now they somehow have to pay it all back. And that can't happen. There's no practical way to make that happen. You can deregulate all you want, and until you create something called slavery, you're never going to create enough human productivity to pay those bastards back. Can't friggin' happen. Alright? And so this idea of what do you want to deregulate? Yeah, let's get rid of the minimum wage. Let's import a bunch of foreign desperation. Okay, so the working standard will be 18-hour work days. Okay, because that guy will do it, so now everybody else will have to do it. And yeah, whole hell with job safety and unemployment insurance and any kind of way of securing a life at all. No, we don't need any of that stuff. I mean, I just can't even believe you could say something like that. I mean, the deregulated stock market, the playing the games with this money, has created an imbecilic system. And now we have to somehow clean up. We have to somehow transition from complete retardation to something a little smarter. And you're just saying, no, let's just get even more retarded, and that'll fix the problem. Bureaucracy's a waste, but guess what? Each one of those bureaucrats has a job. So, and like I said, I'm not saying that's the way to optimize human productivity is by giving people a bunch of umpire jobs. I mean, you don't have a great soccer match if you have more umpires than you have players. So we certainly could do some improving there. But the idea that you start giving players the rights to kick each other in the teeth isn't going to make the game better. So I just don't even know where you're going with that word. That word doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't mean anything in this context. Regulation didn't cause $50 trillion in personal debt in the United States, and it didn't cause $13 trillion in national debt. Okay, it wasn't it wasn't over-regulation that caused that problem. All right, it's not realizing that you have to prevent the consolidation of wealth, and you have to stop idiotic notions like, yes, free ride through inheritance bullshit. You have to prevent the consolidation of wealth. The consolidation of wealth has plagued humankind throughout all of its history. And if you just get rid of that blight, okay, human beings can have rational economies. And again, I'll make the argument, demand creates jobs. You don't create jobs by deregulating, okay? You create jobs by creating demand. And there isn't going to be any demand if people have stifling debt. How the hell can they demand anything when they can't pay for it? Ugh. Alright, enough said. But yeah, really, I really hated your video. Here's one of the few videos you make that's under 433 minutes, and it was just, ugh. So, that's enough said. Sorry, didn't like it. Yeah, that's all. Nice little light morning video, as opposed to the stupid afternoon videos, or the horribly depressing evening videos, or whatever. Yeah, whatever. Okay, now this is another one of these awkward endings. I really hate the endings. Hate the transitions. Life would be really good if there was no transitions. I don't know, that doesn't make any sense, but I just thought I'd say it. So anyway, till next time. I'm going to go away now for a while, and then I will be back probably a while later, unless, I fall off a ladder.